Convictions, apologies, and forgiveness at the Athens County Courthouse today. And a fight for jobs leads to a protest at a local school district. And in sports, the Ohio men's basketball team prepares for their upcoming senior night game. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Taylor Bruck. Thank you for joining us. 3 men are facing consequences for their involvement in the hazing death of Ohio University student Colin Wyant. Dominic Figliola, Colin McLaughlin, and Zachary Herskovitz were in court today. They were all convicted of some of their charges in order to complete the Athens County Empowerment Program. Herskovitz apologized in court today, and Wyant's parents say they believe him.
I think Kathleen and I both feel that if these young men, if this is definitely making an impact on their life, that we hope that they take the energy moving forward to educate others and to right that wrong and to save some lives.
Wyant's body was found unresponsive at a house of multiple members of the Sigma Pi fraternity lived in. The fraternity was expelled from OU's campus for hazing and other violations. 6 other men are still facing charges related to Wyant's death. Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers seized 500 grams of cocaine in Scioto County during a routine traffic stop. The amount of cocaine obtained is worth approximately $50,000. Felony drug charges have been filed against the Columbus woman driving the car. The arrest occurred on Friday, February 21st, when troopers conducted a routine traffic stop for a following too close violation on US 23. 34-year-old Letitia Moore was incarcerated in the Scioto County Jail. Moore was charged with possession of cocaine and trafficking in drugs. If convicted, Moore would face up to 22 years in prison and up to a $40,000 fine. Questions have been raised over the budget, salaries, and personnel in various Meigs County offices. The Meigs County Sheriff's Office has been placed under a quarterly budget following a 30-day notice from county commissioners, according to the Meigs Independent Press. County Commissioner Randy Smith has protested voting for appropriations and called for a reduction in the staff of the Meigs County Sheriff's Office. All 3 Meigs County Commissioners agreed that placing the Sheriff's Office on the quarterly budget is a positive for the county, as they will be able to see what is going on more regularly. Workers and community members rallied at Warren local schools today to express concerns with out-of-state workers being hired in a major construction project. In a statement, Warren local schools said local workers have completed 99% of the work so far. The school district said a construction manager hired Ohio-based Lang Masonry to complete the project, which includes a new high school and expanded middle school. Kenny Allen, president and field rep of Labor's International Union of North America Local 639, said a subcontractor hired out-of-state workers.
We just want to see the project stay local because there's local labor out there to use. We've got 140 guys on our list right now sitting, and probably 65 to 70 of them guys are people that live in that community that, helped pass that levy and are paying for that levy right now.
Allen says another rally will take place Friday. WOUB reached out to the school board and Lang Masonry, but has not yet heard back. Multiple schools in West Virginia have closed as heavy snow and strong winds pound parts of the state. The state education department reports Thursday that nearly 20 counties have closed schools, with most citing weather conditions and icy roads. The National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning for parts of Pocahontas, Randolph, and Webster counties. They're predicting up to 8 inches of snow and wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour.
Hello, I'm forecaster Adlai Carwish here, and right now it is 32 degrees and humidity at 54%. It feels like 21 degrees. The winds are coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, so make sure you do have that coat on. It seems not bad at 32, but it only feels like 21 degrees outside. Taking a look right now all through southeastern Ohio, see Columbus at 30, Chillicothe at 34, New Lexington at 28, Jackson at 34, and Ripley also at 34. So all around it seems to be in the 30s to upper 20s throughout the southeastern Ohio area. Taking a look at tonight, we might actually get a little bit of chance of snow, but it will be less than 1 inch of accumulation. Chance of snow around 60%. The low is 24 degrees. It's going to be a little bit colder than that as winds are coming out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. It won't be bad as some of those parts in West Virginia, but it's definitely going to provide some snow and some cold there, as all of those places are going to be pretty bad. And Taylor, the snow will be coming tonight, but it's going to be looking pretty nice this weekend. Maybe a little cold, but especially on Sunday, it's going to get up into the 50s.
So a little bit of snow, but not enough to build a snowman yet, huh?
No, not yet. Hopefully, we still got a couple more weeks for that, but probably not looking too good.
All right, I'm still waiting. Thank you, Adlai. Beginning Monday, Richland Avenue will close for more than a month for a construction project. Pedestrians and drivers should be a lot safer when the project is complete, but that hasn't stopped them from being upset about the inconvenience. Richland is heavily traversed by both pedestrians and vehicles. Students use it as a way to West Green, and cars use it to travel uptown. Athens Service Safety Director Andrew Stone says the area became congested in the 1960s when West Green was constructed.
Ever since, we've had pedestrian and vehicle conflicts in that roadway, just by the nature of there being a large volume of pedestrians and a large volume of vehicles.
The plan is to elevate the roadway and create a passageway underneath for pedestrians to use. Pedestrians will be able to use the passageway by early August, but drivers will have to wait till the end of the month to resume using Richland Avenue. The project is possible thanks to a federal highway grant worth nearly $2 million. A Kentucky middle school teacher is no longer employed after being accused of inappropriate behavior with a student. 57-year-old Derek Elliott was arrested at Russell Middle School Wednesday. Elliott has been charged with second-degree sodomy in the case. The student involved was under 14, according to a criminal complaint. The Russell Independent School Superintendent says Elliott is no longer allowed to return to district property. The Flatwoods Police Department is investigating the case. The Kentucky House passed a measure to create a tax on vaping products and increase taxes on snuff and chewing tobacco. Wednesday, the House voted 75-17. The legislation will now go to the Senate. The bill is estimated to raise $50 million of new revenue during the next 2 fiscal years. The measure is aimed at reducing vaping and smokeless tobacco use in a state with one of the nation's highest cancer rates. The bill would make vaping products a part of the list of smokable tobacco products, such as cigars, that are currently subject to a wholesale tax. A proposal advancing in the Kentucky Senate would prohibit governors from issuing last-minute pardons before leaving office. Wednesday, the measure cleared the Senate and will now go to the House. The governor would be stripped of their pardoning powers a month leading up to the gubernatorial election. The amendment to the state's constitution would also limit pardoning during the time between the election and inauguration. If the proposal passes in the legislature, it would appear on this year's ballot for voters to decide. A West Virginia man has pleaded guilty to creating a fake military charity. Christopher Engel of Bunker Hill pocketed tens of thousands of dollars in donations to a bogus charity he advertised for military members. Engel co-owned Hearts to Heroes, which solicited contributions to create and send care packages to deployed service members. Prosecutors say Engel admitted he took donations from people in West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia for personal use. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine at sentencing. A lawsuit filed by citizens of West Virginia and Kentucky accusing pharmacies and doctors of negligently prescribing pain medication has been postponed. West Virginia Judge Joseph Reeder canceled the trial that was scheduled for March 9th. Reeder says the residents must wait until after federal prosecutors conclude a criminal case against one of the pharmacy owners. He also says the pharmacist's Fifth Amendment rights could be jeopardized if the lawsuit preceded the criminal trial. And also in West Virginia, residents with opioid addictions will soon be able to get free public transit to treatment centers. The new initiative comes from the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources and will begin on March 2nd. The health department says both urgent and non-urgent transport will be available within 24 to 72 hours. You can visit the West Virginia Transit website for more information on eligibility and scheduling. President Trump is opening offices in Ohio for his campaign. And Milwaukee community members are raising money for the affected families. These stories and more when Newswatch returns. The governor of Wisconsin has ordered flags to fly at half-staff, a day after multiple people were killed at a Milwaukee brewery. Camila Bernal is in Milwaukee, where authorities are trying to piece together why this happened.
Active shooter, reports of one person shot at Miller Coors.
An armed employee storming a Milwaukee brewing complex Wednesday, gunning down 5 people.
We have located 5 additional deceased adult victims. The victims all worked at Molson Coors.
Police say the 51-year-old man eventually turned the gun on himself.
5 families, 6 families actually, are grieving and will be grieving because of this horrific act of this individual.
More than 1,000 employees were working on the sprawling campus when they began receiving text and email alerts about an active shooter.
Find a safe place, active shooter on campus. Police are on scene, remain on lockdown.
Dispatch from one fire engine call the scene a war zone.
Hold all companies. They do not have to shoot it out. It is an additional victim.
The names of the victims have not been released, nor has the motive of the shooter. A local company, Brew City Brand, announcing they're making Miller Strong shirts to help raise money for the families of the victims. In Milwaukee, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Ohio is taking gun safety seriously. The state is sharing free video training to help schools identify concerning behavior and prevent targeted violence. The videos, which were released yesterday, aim to teach educators, law enforcement, parents, and students how to create and use threat assessment teams. The chief of the U.S. Secret Service National Threat Assessment Center says an approach like this is the best way to identify students in distress and intervene before violence happens. The Trump campaign is opening field offices in Cleveland and Columbus with the aim of attracting black voters. The offices are called Black Voters Voices for Trump Community Centers. According to a press release, the campaign is opening these offices in 15 cities with large African American communities. Some of those cities include Jacksonville, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh. These offices will be used for campaign events and activities to get their message directly to African Americans. In 2016, Trump won 8% of the African American votes. A Washington Post IPSOS poll from January found that 8 in 10 black Americans believe Trump is a racist and 9 in 10 disapprove of his job performance. Also coming up in Cleveland is the $50,000 community giveaway event sponsored by the Urban Revitalization Coalition. The Revitalize American event will include a live DJ, free food and beverages, and a $50,000 cash giveaway. In the Galleria, building members of the public are invited to celebrate and honor urban impact leaders. Hosts of the event include Dr. Darrell Scott, Ray J, and Kareem Lanier. The Urban Revitalization Coalition is a nonpartisan organization with the aim of revitalizing Americans' urban communities. The coronavirus continues to spread throughout the world, and Ohioans are taking measures to protect them. That story is still ahead.
And it might be cold outside right now, but warmer temps are on the way. Find out next, but first, here's your stats of local interest. Hello, I'm forecaster Adlai Carwish, and right now it's 32 degrees outside, humidity is 54%, but it only feels like 21 degrees outside because that wind's coming out of the west at 15 miles per hour, which is some pretty high winds. So it does seem pretty cold at 32, but it's even colder with that wind chill. So you can look right now at southeastern Ohio, all throughout southeastern Ohio. Columbus at 30, New Lexington at 28, Chillicothe at 34. So all around the area, somewhere between the low 30s to the upper 20s to see right now. You can take a look at the U.S. temp map today. You can see that cold part, that blue part right there, that cold blue part right there seems to be engulfing most of Ohio, bringing those cold temperatures in. Taking a look at tonight, cold. It's going to be cold and cloudy. 30 degrees right now. At midnight, it is 30 degrees, and that's when the snowing is going to start to begin. But by 4 a.m., it should be finished with the snow. Maybe a still few flurries and maybe a spotty snow shower. Tonight, 24 degrees, chance of snow 60%. It's going to be less than 1 inch of accumulation, so don't expect any closures or snow days or anything like that. Winds carrying from the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour, so do expect some high winds and do expect to be a little bit colder than 24 degrees. Taking a look tonight throughout southeastern Ohio, New Lexington at 21, Chillicothe at 24, and Jackson at 26. So all around in the 20s and even to the teens. Tomorrow, 35 degrees, sun in the morning, snow flurries are possible. Could be a little bit cloudy outside. Take a look right now at southeastern Ohio. All over seems to be in the mid-30s. Tomorrow night, 18 degrees, heavy coat temperatures are there. It's snow flurries are possible, 18 degrees, so very cold outside. Take a look all the way around in the teens, except for Ironton at 21. Taking a look at precip map for tonight. Low pressure system in here. That's started bringing that snow, less than 1 inch of accumulation. Sort of bring it to tomorrow. You can have that little area right there, and you can see it there through that. And let's take a look at your 7-day outlook here, and taking a look at your 7-day outlook here, and 52 degrees outside, and it's not that's on Monday. For Friday, it is 35 degrees, and it's not looking too bad. Saturday, also pretty sunny outside with 36, but once you get into Sunday, it's 54 degrees, and it's going to be looking pretty beautiful outside, 54 degrees. So if you plan to do some things outside, try to plan to do it on Sunday, because the rest of the week looking pretty bad, looking pretty rainy outside. And Taylor, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Adlai. Worries that the coronavirus could turn into a global pandemic are hitting Wall Street for another day, sending stock markets tumbling around the world. Whitney Wild has the very latest from Washington on what U.S. officials are saying about the disease.
Global cases of the novel coronavirus reached more than 82,000 Thursday, with a death toll of more than 2,800. Most of the people who have been infected are in mainland China, with another 4,100 cases throughout the rest of the world. Speaking at a budget hearing on Capitol Hill, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar said officials are aggressively working to stop the spread.
We are right now in a very active containment mode.
Here in the U.S., officials reported 60 cases so far, almost entirely among those who traveled to the U.S. from China. Worrying experts is a case in California, which may be the first example of what's called community spread. In other words, officials don't know how the virus was contracted.
We knew this was inevitable. We initiated a series of protocols that we were prepared to advance. Those protocols include deep tracking and tracing.
Scientists are working on a vaccine, but a product may not be ready for the general population for more than a year. Secretary Azar sought to calm fears about a deadly pandemic spreading faster than a response.
Most individuals who get this coronavirus will have mild to moderate symptoms, will be able to stay home and treat it like the flu or a severe cold. It's really important we correct this impression that it will require this massive hospital isolation for normal patients.
In Washington, I'm Whitney Wild reporting.
212 people in Ohio who recently traveled to China are now in self-quarantine to watch for symptoms of COVID-19, also known as coronavirus. Dr. Andrew Thomas at the OSU Wexner Medical Center says a quarantine is now something that people looking to travel to countries with confirmed cases of coronavirus have to think about. So far, all 6 people in Ohio tested for coronavirus have come back negative.
The Ohio men's basketball team plans for their senior night game tomorrow against Kent State. Hear from head coach Jeff Balls when Newswatch returns, and stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. Welcome back. I'm Chloe G. Welcome back to Newswatch. The Ohio men's basketball team has started to turn things around, winning their last 4 home games. On Friday night, they get one more chance in the combo as they take on the Kent State Flashes on their senior night. Earlier in the seasons, the Bobcats struggled against the Golden Flashes, so they will be looking to turn things around heading into their last home game. Every game is important at this stage of the season because Ohio is fighting to host a first-round MAC tournament game. The team is only losing 2 seniors, Sylvester Ogbonda, a grad transfer from Georgia Tech, and Jordan Dardis, who earlier in the season set the record for the most threes in a season by a Bobcat.
Forever grateful for those two. Obviously, Jordan Dardis has been through a lot, been here 5 years, and you know, kind of see what he overcame, you know, last year and even the year before that, to be where he is now, all-time leading three-point field goals made in Ohio history. You know, a lot of great shooters, shot makers have been through here, and you know, Sylvester for believing in us and our blueprint. You know, what we had to offer him and what he did, and you know, he's been a big part of you know, our season so far.
The Ohio women's basketball team continued their conference season last night when they traveled to Bowling Green. The Bobcats were stunned by the last place team in the conference, falling 82-68 at the Stroh Center. The Bobcats shot only 32% from the floor and allowed Bowling Green to make 13 three-pointers. Ohio had 3 players in double figures, with Amani Burke leading the charge with 18 points. With back-to-back losses, Ohio has fallen out of second place in the conference and now sits at just 10-5. They're only 1 game down from Kent State in the MAC, with 3 games left in the regular season.
In the past, a loss, as you noted, we don't lose 2 conference games in a row very often. We would traditionally bounce back and give a great effort the next night. And, you know, we got out-rebounded the last 15 minutes of the Akron game pretty significantly. A typical Ohio team would not have gotten out-rebounded the next game, but this team has proven to be atypical.
Now leaving the Convocation Center, high school basketball playoffs are in full gear for both boys and girls. The Vinton County Lady Vikings had it all going for them, winning the TVC title led by the strong sophomore class. They came into the game with a strong mindset, but the undefeated Circleville Lady Tigers can't seem to be stopped. Their season is over, but looking forward, 4 out of their 5 starters are returning, meaning we could be seeing another Vinton County takeover next season as well. Switching over to the boys' teams, the Trimble Tomcats are sitting pretty with their number 3 seed. They have continued on their teams there through the season, and they just took down their most recent victims, the Eastern Eagles. They are in-conference foes, and they took them down easily, 61-42. With this win, they are sectional champs, meaning they have earned their way to the Convo, where they will take on the 11th seed South Webster Jeeps on Tuesday. This should be an exciting matchup, and it will certainly be exciting to see what these boys can do in the remainder of the tournament. Now kicking it back to weather with Adelaide.
Hello, I'm taking a look at tonight. 24 degrees. There's going to be a chance of snow, 60%, but it's going to be less than 1 inch of accumulation. But it will be windy with winds coming out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So that 24 degrees might drop that just a few degrees because it will be a little bit colder. Taking a look at June's 7-day outlook here. Friday, 35 degrees, and it's pretty nice outside. Might still see a few snow flurries. Same thing with Saturday. But on Sunday, 54 degrees and looking quite beautiful outside. But once you get started with the rest of the week, it's looking pretty rainy. Taylor, I'll send it back to you.
All right, and that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Taylor Bruck. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.